Hey, Krazz here from Play Aussie again. Down here at Rome Redbacks, training here in Northwest Georgia. One of the things my physio therapist said to me, one of the best things for my recovery is to come out and do what I normally do. So here I am at practice Wednesday night and ready to take the guys for a bit of a session. What we do often here in Rome is start with the really basics. Tap, feed, could be just very basic handball. Some of this goes back to when I was a coach in Australia and was coaching senior teams. At the same time, I was also a track and field coach, coaching seniors and junior football during the week, as well as coaching track and field for kids aged from 10 to 18. What's important when kids are learning skills, especially in track and field, is they learn the textbook way to do things from the very beginning. When I was teaching, especially field events in track and field, I did not teach a teenager the very correct way to execute that field event. They would struggle to progress through the age groups and be competitive. They learned the correct technique from the very start. They were able to be competitive a lot quicker. So much so they'll move on to higher competitions and they'll enjoy that particular part of the sport far more because they'll be good at it. As they grow physically, they keep up their training, they'll actually become really good at that particular part of the sport. I'll give you an example. If you want to talk about high jump, if you set up a high jump for kids to do, get them to try and say jump a bar that's about 1 metre high. If they fail to jump that 1 metre high bar about 8 times in a row, you don't correct them at all. Competition on Saturday, they'll do the same thing. They'll knock that bar off. If you correct them, lower the bar by about 8 or 9 inches and correct their technique, let them do 4 or 5 repetitions at textbook execution. In a couple of weeks, they'll come out to be able to jump metre 20, metre 30, metre 40, because what they're doing is they're teaching their nervous system correctly the right body mechanics. And it's the same for handball. You can see the guys here, they're leaning forward on their opposite foot. They're spinning the ball backwards. On every execution, the ball is spinning backwards. When they catch the ball, their fingers are pointing up towards the sky, so it's much easier to catch. What I've noticed in USAFL games, even on videos, and even on some USAFL training videos I see online, players are allowed to handball any old way, where the ball comes through the air like a helicopter or without spinning. That ball normally ends up on the ground, like it does in a game, simply because they are being allowed to do skills that have taught them the wrong body mechanics. Unless you go right back to the basics, how to handball over just a couple of yards the correct way, handball is always going to be the same. And if you have 10 players like that in a game, the ball is going to end up on the ground all day. So it's imperative players learn the correct skills every sport they're trying to play. Aussie rules, there's a lot of different skills you can learn. Obviously handball, kicking, tackling, rough work, passing. So endeavour to learn the textbook, basic way how to do each skill before you go out to the game. So the other thing we can do basically at training is come towards each other, be about 2 yards apart, and toss the ball back to each other. Toss the ball back to it, keep our fingers up. Keep our fingers up, pointing to the sky. This teaches us that whenever we receive a ball, and especially at training, This is the way we're going to have our hands. We're going to have our fingers up, even if it's low, we're going to have our fingers up. All right, good guys.